today. He's back. Our 24 News Rundown host Caleb Ben-David is here in studio, and he's bringing us the Sports Corner, or in this case, should I say the Shabbat Corner? I like the sound of it. So Shabbos is trending. Caleb, fill us in.
Well, Ellie, I don't know if you're much of an American baseball fan.
I'll give you two guesses.
Okay, so I don't know if you know who Hank Greenberg and Sandy Koufax are, but most Americans, or of my generation, certainly know them. Maybe the two greatest Jewish baseball stars of all time. They're also two of the biggest stars that refuse to play on the Jewish high holidays, Yom Kippur and Rosh Hashanah. Hank Greenberg, during the 1930s, star slugger for the Detroit Tigers, refused in some key games to play on the Jewish holidays, World Series and pennant races. Sandy Koufax in 1965 World Series refused to play on Yom Kippur because he was Jewish. So another baseball player, Don Drysdale, substituted for him, lost 7-1. Afterwards, they asked him how he felt. He said, "I wish I was Jewish too," after a game like that. But I want to talk about a different athlete now. Former NBA All-Star Amar'e Stoudemire. He was an All-Star
this one I know.
With the Phoenix Suns and with of course, with the New York Knicks. And he's been the last couple of years an assistant coach for the Brooklyn Nets. And he last week had announced that he's stepping down. And there was a lot of speculation that it was because of conflicts with the star point guard of the Brooklyn Nets, Kyrie Irving. But Amar'e Stoudemire went on his Instagram to say, no, it wasn't Kyrie Irving. It was a different reason. Let's take a look at that Instagram clip.
Let's take a look.
I spoke with Steve Nash before I went on ESPN. We had an easy mutual conversation. I spoke about me not being able to grow in the coaching space because I don't work on Shabbat, and so not working on Friday night and Saturdays is difficult for anyone to grow in the coaching space because coaching is such a grind and it requires you to be there full time. And so for me, I wasn't able to grow in that space, so I did not want to continue coaching.
Right. So, Ellie, Amar'e Stoudemire is an Orthodox Jew. No, he wasn't born that way.
Behold.
He was born as an African-American, but apparently his mother had some links to what's called the Black Hebrews or Black Israelites movement, not recognized officially as Jews, but they think of themselves as having some Jewish roots. So he was kind of interested in the subject. Later, towards the end of his NBA career, he started researching the subject of Judaism. And then he came to Israel, and he played here in Israel. He played with Hapoel Jerusalem. He now owns a piece of that club. And with Maccabi Tel Aviv, he helped them win a championship a couple of years ago. And he became more and more interested in Jewish practice, and he actually went through an Orthodox Jewish conversion a couple of years ago. He even has a Jewish name that he took, Yehoshaphat ben Avraham. Of course,
wow, that's a catchy name.
People still know him as though Amar'e Stoudemire for the most part, but he's taking it seriously. He said, by the way, last year he said now he's divorced. He's ready for a shidduch, for a matchmaker to set him up with a nice Jewish girl. You know, if you like someone who's tall and Jewish.
That sounds quite good to me.
Ellie,
what can I say?
But most importantly, he gave up a great job to be assistant coach of the Brooklyn Nets, a top team, because he says he won't work on Shabbat and he doesn't feel like he can contribute that way. And, you know, it's really unusual. We have other athletes, including in Israel, that either don't play on Shabbat, who don't play on Yom Kippur or Rosh Hashanah. A lot of cases of that. But I can't imagine a guy giving up an entire job because he is observant. It's quite something from Amar'e Stoudemire.
Absolutely. One hell of a statement, sticking to your values that way. The only question I have left is whether he went through the gefilte fish test when he became Jews, but we will have to save it for another time.
Well, I just want to end. There was a poem written about Hank Greenberg in the 1930s when he didn't play. Somebody wrote a poem saying, "We shall lose the game today. We shall miss him in the infield. We shall miss him at the bat. But he's true to his religion, and I honor him for that."